What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and this is gonna be my comprehensive unit analysis and review of Pelleas, our latest free-to-play Grand Tour battle unit that we have got along with Choose Your Legends 5. I'll be going over his options, his builds that he can run for different game modes, and at the end I'll also have a special bonus segment. As always, if you do enjoy these consistent free-to-play unit reviews, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like and subscribe. Helps out the channel a lot, and with that said, let us begin. So Pelleas is the first free Gen 6 mage that we have got. He is a red infantry mage and we have got a lot of those. There's a lot of competition there, and unfortunately he doesn't really come with a preferred weapon despite being from the batch of Choose Your Legends. He has got a new inheritable weapon in Rother Lion. So at start of turn, this gives +6 attack to adjacent allies for 1 turn. So this is visible buff, and at start of combat, if foe's HP is above 75%, then he can get +5 attack and speed during the combat. So this inheritable weapon is actually not that bad because it can support your allies and also give you attack and resistance in both phases. We don't really have too many good inheritable red tomes, and this is definitely going to be pretty nice for its mixed phase potential. And I do think this is better than the rabbit tome. Even though it doesn't really have the healing, it does work consistently in multiple combats in both phases. He also has Brazen attack speed and attack res oath as his skills, and Brazen skills are not the best in slot A because they come at an opportunity cost. They do nothing on your first combats, so that's why it's much better to run this as a Sacred Seal and use Fury or a push skill that has got recoil so that you can activate the Brazen skill. Attack res oath is definitely pretty nice, and overall his stat spread is actually not that bad. He has got base 40 attack with a super boon in it, so he can actually reach 175 BST for arena usage, which is really good for scoring. And he does have workable speed stat at base 36. His resistance is also alright at base 31, and his defense is low. So he can be compared to the other 3-star, 4-star red mages that we have got, and he's quite similar to them because he doesn't really have a preferred weapon, and he can be compared to someone like Miranda. Urk is 5 points faster than Pelleas, which is really significant even though he lacks the attack which Pelleas has got. Having better speed in my opinion is something I prefer more than having more attack, because extra speed means that you can ultimately double more enemies and get more damage. If you invest with merges, then Miranda and Pelleas are going to be ending up at same speed stat. Pelleas has slightly got better attack, and Miranda can get 10 Dragon Flowers now. Pelleas only gets 5, so they can pretty much close the gap. Urk has got speed super boon, so he's going to be faster, and Miranda and Urk don't really take any kind of grails or trade fruits in their investment. Although it's worth noting, like I said, if you're going to be using Pelleas in arena, then you have to commit to the plus attack IV because you want to get that 175 BST if you're not going to be using a dual skill. And for the most part, depending on your team, a dual skill is not going to be the most helpful thing for you because just bumping his BST by a few points to 180 might not really change your team's overall score depending on your team again, and running something like attack speed push 4 or some kind of offensive option which can give you extra offenses might help you in arenas. So attack super boon is going to be helpful in arena, but outside of that, if you're not going to be using him in arena, then speed is definitely something you should invest into as he's an offensive unit. Overall, I feel like only Pelleas fans and dedicated fans who really like him are going to be using him because he doesn't really stand out too much because of not having a preferred weapon, but still overall he's not a bad unit himself. He does have decent stat spread for an offensive mage, and it's definitely workable and viable. His attack super boon can help you in arena if you want to use him there, but for the most part, he has really similar stat spread to Miranda and Urk, who are also present in the 3-star, 4-star pool and don't really need any kind of premium resources. Not to mention Mail Morgan and Arvis are also good red mages in the free-to-play pool, and they are a lot more unique than Pelleas because of their preferred weapon. And let's not even go to the 5-star log red mages like Nyx and Brave Lysithea, who can be so strong offensively just at unmerged. So Pelleas is likely going to get par crep because of not having a preferred weapon in future, and he's also the first Gen 6 mage that we have got. So in the future we can have a unit with more optimized stat spread or a preferred weapon, as we have seen time and time again of how it goes for a lot of these grail units. So if you want to build up on a budget, then you can definitely go with Desperation. Brazen attack speed, like I said, is not the best for slot A, but still on a budget it does work out, and you can go with Blade Session. You can also run him as a support unit. Speed Defense Link from Norn along with Reposition is actually a pretty nice combo with his attack res oath, and this can also buff up the allies for 3 stats, and he can also use all of the buffs for himself as well. You can also go with an Arena Assault build, just focusing on his attack stat because it's actually not that bad, and you can just run Axe Breaker to double a lot of the Axe Armor units like Legendary Edelgard for example. And you can also use a Blade Tome on him. He does have an Oath skill, so that does help him, and because of his high attack stat, a Blade Tome can give him pretty good damage output. But if you want to invest heavily into him, then you can definitely go with Attack Speed Push 4 because it does work in both phases, and solo skill is not the best synergy with his Lion Tome and his Oath skill, but still it can be run if you don't really like the recoil damage, and low attack speed can help him if you're not going to be running Desperation. So he can get pretty bulky on the magical side as well at max investment with the extra resistance from his weapon and Oath skill, and also the attack debuff. And Mystic Boost can help you with the self-healing and just counteracting the recall damage. So the Lion Tome is actually not that bad at all at budget, but if you want to have a more player phase option, then you can go with the Fox Tome with its in-combat debuffs giving you that speed stat, which is going to be pretty helpful. And you can go with Sparrow because we're mainly running a player phase build, and Speed Smoke can also help him be fast, and again Desperation is going to be an option for slot B2. At really high investment, I feel like Unity Blooms is going to be a really fantastic option, and Henriette has been available in Hero Fest. So if you're a big fan of Pelleas, then this is a build that you could go with. So this build has really good synergy with all of the skills. Unity Blooms, Attack Speed Unity, Joint Drive Speed, and also the Form skill have really great synergy and require you to be near your allies. And you can get Attack Speed Unity and Null Follow-Up at the same time from Marianne, who is present on the Choose Your Legends banner. Definitely a very expensive build, but it does work out pretty well, making him fast and also making him a lot more bulky. The attack debuff of Unity Blooms actually helps him increase his defense as well, and whenever a speed defense form comes out, that can help him have better defense and be even faster. As I've said before, plus attack IV is something that you should commit with if you're going to be using him in Arena because he reaches 175 BST, and that's pretty good because he can just run an offensive skill like Attack Speed Push 4 or a solo skill or anything else to help him offensively than a dual skill. And this can make him score decently well for tier 20.5 or even tier 20. Not exactly an investment you should be making if you are going to be trying to stay in tier 21 consistently, because I feel like you should definitely aim for higher BST units, but still if you like Pelleas in Arena, then this can be an option. And Unity Blooms with Blue Flame is also going to be an option at higher investments. Finally, I feel like in Aether raids he doesn't really have too much place of function, but still because of his high attack stat and if you've already committed to plus attack IV, he can be made into a cav check with the Wolf Tome, and he can be used with Null Counter Disrupt. In the light season, he can get extra resistance from Dagger and Air, and can definitely deal with a lot of the cavalry heavy teams and mage heavy teams as well because of his resistance. Mirror Stance is going to be giving you the guard effect, which can be pretty helpful against auto follow-up units like Bramimont, who's going to be extremely common. But keep in mind that you have to watch out for Note because he is a red unit at the end of the day. So obviously this is not something unique to him, and someone like Micaiah does this kind of build way better because of her Thani Tome. But if you really like Pelleas and want to use him in Aether raids, then this could be an option of using him as a counter pick unit to those cav heavy teams. Let's move on to our bonus section. Like I said before, I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't give a fan favorite and such a important character like Pelleas a preferred weapon in FEH. So if I had to give him a preferred weapon, I would definitely give him his S rank Dark Tome Verin, and that's going to be pretty helpful to him, much better than a Lion Tome. So it is going to be giving him -1 special cooldown, and if he's within 2 spaces of an ally, then he can inflict -5 attack speed and resistance debuff on foe during the combat, and he gets special cooldown charge +1 per attack of his. So that can help him with the -1 special cooldown, making Luna a 2-turn special, and then the special acceleration can be really nice honestly, and does make him a bit more unique. And this weapon is not exactly too broken, and it's not exactly too bad. It's just kind of in the middle that does make him a workable free-to-play unit as a Gen 6 mage, and this could have been something that would have been realistic, but unfortunately he didn't really get a chance to getting a preferred weapon, so he has to wait many years to even get a weapon refined. I would definitely give him attack speed form instead of brazen attack speed, because we have seen that before on Seteth and Linus as well. Oath skill is fine I guess, and form skill and oath skill do synergize pretty well with his preferred weapon. So let me know in the comments what you think about my theory craft about Pelleas and his preferred weapon. And make sure to share this video with your friends who have been waiting for Pelleas to be in the game. I went over a lot of builds and a lot of options, and I want to thank all of my YouTube members for their constant support. If you enjoyed, then please be sure to leave a like and a comment, also tremendously, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as Pelleas after seeing that George got a preferred weapon and he didn't. So that's it, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.